Good. Sound check is good. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that sounds perfect. Hey, everyone. Okay, so setting the rest up can take 3 minutes and then we will be back. I just searched my water and coffee. Don't you worry, we'll be back soon. I just searched my water and coffee. Don't you worry, we'll be back soon. So, very well, mute myself. Fantastic. All right, so let's have a look. Where have we stopped the last time? And today, what can we do? Hey, Minu, you're already there. Fantastic, that's timing. How are you? Okay, so after yesterday and the day before and so on, I found still some issues with our little maze that I would love to improve, because as a user of that, it is really unpredictable. You know, you can create the walls, that's pretty good. And you can also start an endpoint. Just demonstrate once more what our maze can do now. So we can, create a maze. Who guessed it? Like so. You can start the search, it finds the path. But until now, it's quite good. I don't feel a bit, I could have slept a little bit longer this morning. Don't know how this happened, but yeah, I think that's fair enough. Just one problem in the whole part, and with that I can live. How is your day going so far? So with that we find our perfect way, but what I don't like is that I have now to recreate everything. So everything in that maze have to be recreated. So I have to create the walls once more, I have to create the start point and end point. And I would like to improve that a little bit so that we maybe save the information about start and end point and then just change the state in between or something. So what did I thought? How could we solve that issue? Actually, I didn't thought so much about the problem. I just played a bit around yesterday. So we will have to think our solution to it, how we can do that. And then after that, maybe think about how we can increase the size of the different cells so that we have more cells at the end. And yeah, just restarting my project again instead of messing them up. It's always a good idea. Good. So then I would say let's jump right into code and let's see how I can change that. Here we go. Yep. So as you see, I also changed a little bit the setup of the different views. So you don't have the text underneath anymore, just my webcam. On top we have the application running, and on the left this left we have the fantastic IDE running. I think that will be okay. I think that everything is really seen, and if I move that around, it's just important to put it back on the top. If you cannot see something, please let me know immediately so that we can update that. Okay, so in order to have that, what I would like to do is this and this. And the question is now, should we have another button, like a not complete harsh reset button that keeps the state of everything? Or that we just, if we select down here something that we can research and then, maybe we could also change the button that it goes from start search to reset. So that if I click here, we reset, and then I click again, then the start point and end point and the walls are back there where they belong. That would be maybe an option. The good thing is, if I think about it, I think we have already saved somewhere the walls and everything. So this part here. Do we handle this? I think we don't actually need that here. Don't even have to break here. So all this part has nothing to do with the search itself, right? The search starts here. So if we, this is our, here our search starts. That means everything below here is actually the search, right? Everything above has nothing to do with the search itself. It is more like a preconditioning and so on, and checking if the start and end is there and so on and so forth. I think we need all of that at the end. Let's see. So do we use the start here inside of the code? So if start -1, this is that part, and down here to create the start node. Okay, and with the end node, we need that probably here, exactly, to identify the goal where we want to go to. How could we do that a little bit more elegant? We have multiple options here, I think. One would be that we define the variables up here, that we create like, I think this is now a number where we can say start and number end, and define it in our search controller implementation. That would mean that we can use, instead of recreating this variable, we could just say this.start and this.end. We could also identify them here. I think we don't even need this, right? So we can get rid of that. And this should work already. The same thing with walls and paths. I think we can save them all here. So if we take that part here, I think we can take the whole thing up and bring them up here. We can save that with the instance of up here with the creation. So that should already save us some time. The next part would be that we take all of that here and create a method for that, like create maze or get maze information. So, and with that, if I'm checking now, the node start is end. It automatically takes the right end and start, so we don't get any more confused with that here. Another thing that I would like to do is we have here, how you know the earning is BFS or DFS with looking into the object, without looking into the options. Like we can view pathfinding time maybe. So you mean the time or the steps that we took? Because when we take a look at the moment, we don't display that in the UI, that's correct. But I think we say, we show the steps that it takes inside of our console. Let's see if I press now. We get, of course, the yellow parts that are, have been watched for. But what we see is, I think, here, down here, steps to solve. So it took 45 steps to solve that problem here. I don't know if we should use the time. Sorry, that was learning, no problem. Yep, so it's getting warm already with the lights, so I put my stuff out. Okay. So at the moment we have that down here. Maybe we can also implement somehow that we give some information to the user, how long something took and so on and so forth. And I think we should also do that. maybe we can do that with a dialogue. So whenever we click, we get also as a dialogue the information how much step we took. On the other hand, I don't really like the idea of a dialogue because then we wouldn't show the times down here. But maybe on top, just as text would be a good idea. Okay, so what I want to do is creating a to-do file for us. So I go up here, give it a new, where is it? Concept specification, just a file, todo.md. So with that, usually we should be able to have to-dos for live stream. So first, what do we want to do? So we want to display the time or steps that it took to find a good path between start and end. Second, I would like to have improved the UI to keep track of start and end and make it possible to reset. Third, okay, that's it for now, but if we have more, then let's get started. Steps to solve it, BFS, right? So that was breadth first search, yes. So if we took DFS, we can also check that. So this one and this one. And whoops. Block that off and give the path here. Let's see. Okay, that took only 33 steps in this case. And I think we also print still a lot. So let's search if we can remove some of these prints. Steps to solve, that's okay. But what I don't like is the old starting point. Ah, yeah, that we definitely don't need that. Result. Ah, I guess this is that here. So hopefully if we have now a starting point and an end point. And I press start search, get the 39. Another thing that I would like to do that I can also add to our to-do list is I want to make it able that our users can decide if they want to have this 1 second or duration between the steps so that they can follow along how the search is actually behaving. So create a checkbox so that the user can decide if he wants to have delay between the steps. So, okay, I bring that also in the right order because display the time of the steps. On the other hand, I think that should be fairly simple. Okay, kind of like this. Yeah. Is there anything else that we should also keep in mind? I think then we want to make it a bit more dynamic, right? To have more cells. So fourth would be make it more dynamic in cells amount. So that we could have maybe 8 times 8, because I think 64 looks pretty good, but it's very basic, right? It would be better if I get like a huge amount of elements, like if I could double or triple that, because for a user it would make more fun if he can just draw wherever he wants to. Oh. Okay. That doesn't look good. So this is still working. Good. So do you have any other ideas that we should do with this funky little maze that we created? Minnow, do you know something? Is the maze symmetric? Yes, it's at the moment exactly 8 times 8. N times n. But I think we can also change that in the future. The only problem I see is with that logic here, because if we do it more dynamic, like n times m, we would have to keep track of rows and cells, columns and rows. Then we would have to make it a bit more specific. At the moment, it's very easy to do as long as it stays 8 times width and then m times long. I guess that wouldn't change anything. So just to demonstrate that quickly, if we go to the providers and we would increase that, for example, we would double that, right? And we go to 182, also here. Now you can see that we can scroll in, I have to refresh, and now you can see that we scroll through a lot of them. And I think nearly everything still works the same, right? Because at the moment the modulo 8 is working correctly. But the problem is, as soon as we change the amount of cross-axis, how do you call it? The amount of columns, then it will break, I guess. So if I do it here and scroll completely to the bottom, make it a bit smaller. I think we can make it even that small and then up, kind of this. And then just let it run. Oh, interesting, it broke. Yeah, of course, because also our logic inside of this here tells us that we have only 36 at the moment. So it is very static at the moment, so we have to improve this to make it more dynamic at the end. Okay, so a lot to do, so highly let it be, right? So let's go for it. And bring that back for now. So that we don't have to change too much. As you can see already, our text is getting blue. What I did is, if you have interest in that, we have it now on GitHub. That whole Maze AI, Maze search thingy, which I can also share with you somehow. If I go to Twitch again, now you will quickly see a lot of, wait, I think I can change that. Going to intermission. Go to the channel, so it's maybe small but not too bad, and send this in. Then you have also the access to the fantastic GitHub repository if you are interested how we implement that. And we are going back to the live scene. Nice. Okay. So all that is included. There is still an, yeah, we also have to include the GBS and the other search elements. So we have DBS, GBS, and also a star search have to be implemented. Good. Okay, so the first thing I would like to start with. Display the time of or steps that took to find the path between start and end point. Okay, let's push first these things. I think the to do is not necessary, but what have we changed here? This part, and removed off the print. Okay. Good. And we work with a clean state. I think that makes a lot of sense. Make that a bit smaller. So, okay, so we have our column here with that sized box where we have the different icons inside. This is this part here. And now we would like to, what I would like to do, I think we are also getting a bit out of bounds with our size here. So this row could be an own widget, right? Rather to have that sized box and everything, we could take this row out. Yeah. So I will take the sized box with us. So let's see if I can do it the easiest way. So refactor, create a new widget. Yeah, extract. It's not working because it doesn't return the widget. That means this will also not work. No. Okay. So let's create a new widget down here. File, we call that Do I watch any movies? Yeah, of course. A lot of them even. I'm not the complete movie type, but I'm more the series type at the end. So the Witcher series or something like that. Because of timing, because I cannot sit 1 hour in front of a computer of a movie and really watch it like actively. But it's a good question. Don't you worry. So this is our icon bar. Oops. Stateless widget, icon bar. Or better, toolbar would be maybe a good name. Toolbar. That was a bit too less. Brought it back. And here we go. Import this. The read. Because it doesn't import automatically provider. Up. And bring that in. Getting the cell state. Okay, and with that we have our first exclusion, getting a little bit lighter in our main widget. That's good. And also get that here, imported. Good. So our toolbar should look exactly still the same as before. Looks good. And yeah, also what we would have to do in the future is to give that more talking items, right? Because I think nobody would understand that this one is a wall, this one is a starting point, end point, and so on. KFG chapter 1 or Bahuli 1 and 2. Okay, so let's have a look. What is that? I hope you don't give me some weird movies, but chapter 1. Oh, from Tamil. I know this guy. I think I saw a lot of GIFs and so on from him, where he is like the awesome guy who does all the stuff and hits police and I don't know what. That's the best thing about the Indian movies. They just do a little bit over exaggeration, maybe. Bahubali. Yeah, it's the same. All right, so I would take it the time and have a movie night with Mahtab, and then she can enjoy the movie with me. Okay, so maybe to our toolbar. Toolbar, and inside of our toolbar we currently have this wallet membership. And can we give there like a tooltip or something? I don't even know that, to be honest. Tooltip, perfect. So this is our wall. Yeah, at least something, so the user knows what he has to be expecting. And what I also would like to do in the future is to make this one active, so that this gets a different color, right? So disable, don't even know if this is possible that easy. So color, focus color, node color. Hover color, splash color, highlight color. Okay, I see. Most likely it will be not that easy, but okay, we can solve that somehow. So for now, this creates walls. Wall tool. Nah, wall is good enough, I guess. Then we have this with the tooltip of create path. So path. This is start point. And tooltip endpoint. Hey Nastown, nice to see you. Left and right are N, up and down are N right. I think we can mix that as we want. At the moment we don't have that anyway, we only have N. So we have a hard-coded number of array elements here inside, and we have just one row at the end. So the columns are specifically at 8 at the moment. So that's everything hard-coded. But yeah, at the end, I think we can move that. Okay, so with that in mind, we have now our tooltips here, wall, path, start point, end point, and I think that helps already our users a lot. Yes, exactly. In the future, we will have that, or I hope at least that we come that far. Good. So that's that. We included all of this, the spaces. This is still working the same, I guess. Good. With that, we have the toolbar. The next step would be to include, besides of the toolbar, the result information. Is that a good name? I don't know for a widget. Result bar. And this result bar should contain then all the information about how many steps we took and so on and so forth. All right, thank you, Minu. So let's get into the widgets. And you saw now going out a light. I have to quickly fix that. Yep. Yep. Hey Debug, nice to see you. Where is it? Ah, by the way, if I have you all here now, we need to find a good solution what we should put on the back of this screen. Whenever I make live streams, I think it looks a bit pale with all that white behind me. So we need a good solution there. I search at the moment for some good pictures. So if you have a good idea, please let me know. Result bar.dart. Stateless widget. So, and what I would like to see is a row, of course, with children. It's a row with children, and then we want to have at least 2, I get. Really, you think I should let it be? All right, it's my office, you are right. Maybe it's just like that. And if we needed a whiteboard from time to time, then I can use it. So we would have here a text, right? That would be saying something like steps taken to find the path. And then, I don't know, some... that looks weird, so give that a little bit of padding. So, and another text maybe where we have then the steps, like 11, I don't know. Okay, so we need to get the state of these 11 steps from somewhere. So at the moment we have the home provider, and this could also include our steps that we took to solve our search, right? I think that would make sense. So let me think. So currently we only get that information down here, and we don't update somehow the steps to solve the thing. So we would do a context.read of the home view provider, and then we would create like update result steps. Up, and then we would give inside DFS result item 3. And this, I mean, I like the idea of the tuples, right? That we can just put something in, but I don't like that it is not really speakable, because what is item 3, right? So maybe in the future we also have to change that. Go away from a tuple approach and create classes for that. So 6, remove tuples and use classes for it. I think that makes it more clean. Quickly checking this out. From time to time I'm just dropping out of the stream without any reason. It's really sad. Okay. back here and back. Fantastic. Okay, so here we have the update result steps, which is not existent, of course. So we create this method. Yep, that's fine. We don't get item free. We get actually a number with the result steps. And what we want to do is updating a variable that we have inside here. So bring that up, I guess, to the top here. No, not the method. This will be here, but here we will have like a number of result steps, 0 in general. And down here at the update result steps, we say that result steps equals to result steps. And then we notify our listeners. And with that, we updated everything. Last step is to make this one private. Also this one. And at the end, create a small getter for that. Hup. Do we actually need this here? No. So we can also remove these. This is here. Don't really need that. Good. Here we can now update this. This can be gone. And the actions, I don't know if we want to have the action actually, because we don't really need that, right? The actions anyway will be displayed in blue. So whoever is interested can just take the blue parts into account. Okay, so we update this now. So where do we need the steps? Up here in the result bar. So this guy, and he can try to inside of here we can say context.read from the home view provider and receive our, I have to import provider once more. Hup. Voila. And then here it's getting red. Result steps to string. Failed assertion. Okay, yeah, that is a build function or update callback of a provider. Ah, is this a watch in that case? Probably. Yeah. Okay, so we have 0. If I now create our super maze from here to here, let it run. Now we get 50 steps. So I think with that we have the first to do from the menu solved, right? We can now see exactly the steps that it takes to solve a maze. This and this, create the maze, making, I don't know, breadth first search. And we have our 50 steps again. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And the solution is wrong. So probably, did it maybe not update? The reason is because only DFS at the moment updates this part. Don't need that anymore. And I think we can also make that easier by removing this. And this guy comes underneath of everything. So we break here. This is our switch. So it would be here somewhere. And this is not only the DFS result, we receive a result. And because we know that it is always a tuple free at the moment, can create that here, which is the result. Dynamic formula is up state minus m, down state minus plus m. N equals 0. Ah, you are there already. Very good. Okay, we can do that as soon as we have M and N correct, because that will always that will be a real big transformation, I guess. But what I will do is I will want to go once more to the stream. Sorry if you see now everything triplet. Oh no, perfect. So I take that out and I will bring that into our to-do. Yep. Fantastic. Thank you, Minu. That's real dedication to the topic. So this will be here. Menu solution for left, right, up, down. Good. So hopefully we don't forget that we have that. But I guess you will remind me. Up, down, left, right. I think we can remove that. Perfect. Okay, and important, N is what? Horizontal, or the columns, while M is the rows, and this is vertical. Okay. Result bar, that works already. We have the results. Ah, yeah, we wanted to try that out again. So clean that up. We have this in place. We have this in place. We make a wall and go. 15 steps. All right. Maybe it would be good that the result bar also shows which search has been taken, right? So we have a row with... Hold on, right is plus one. Okay, I will give you there a second to figure that out, and in the meantime I will try to make here something. And what we want is that these two texts here, because what happens now is we create another one. What I could do is take that stuff, just bring it here inside. Where is it? Here we go. So get that rid of. So, and why is that important for us? Because we could create a second text. Used search algorithm. Then we have here also a context dot watch home provider, and we would get the selected search algo. And because this is not really a good text with search algo.bfs, we will have to use that as a method. And here inside, we would have to convert to a block, decide which search algo and what we want to return. So we know that we don't want to return a search algo, we want to return a string. Yes, Minu, that is one of our to-dos, right? So that is this guy here, to keep track of start and end, because that is at the moment not possible. So we are coming slowly to it. Context, so now we use this algo here, and depending on what we receive, add missing causes. Whoop, what happened? Now, okay, so this returns, and I learned something yesterday. This is not deep first search, it's depth first search. So we have to import what this is. Okay, then BFS returns breadth first search. Search algo returns a star, and the GBS returns greedy best search. Okay, we don't need any breaks because we anyway return. Like so. And we get some errors here because the text is too far. Okay. What could we do in order to avoid this problem? We could do it in multiple lines, right? So at the moment we use here row, but we could also use a column. Like so. And then we have a main axis alignment with main axis alignment dot start. Nope. Cross axis alignment it is. Okay. Oh, interesting. Why does it not take the full space? Ah, no. Huh? Padding has nothing to do with that, right? Ah, okay. Does it need a container surrounding it? No. Interesting. Where comes this from now? Why are you not taking the full space? This column is somewhere in between, is inside of the result bar. And the result bar don't take the full space. We have a toolbar, takes full space, but this result bar does not. We have a size bar inside without any height, without any width. So maybe that is the reason. Oh. What is loss? But I'm very happy that you like it. Okay, so out of reason. Yeah, I'm also very happy with our solution so far. Okay. So, but still, I mean, I understand that it's not too bad that it looks is in the middle of the screen, but somehow it is off, and I don't like such stuff if such magic happens where I don't understand where it comes from, especially if we have already one that works correctly and we have one that does not work the same way. So we have that also in star with a padding. We have a size box with a row. And then we have the children. No, this is a row, that makes sense. So what happens if I use the main axis alignment and stretch the whole thing? Nope, nope, nope. Oh wait, main axis alignment will take the same, this one. Aha, okay, way better. So now we have the stuff on the left side, and at least I understand now what happens. Good, so if we search the death first search, and if I have to reset, we want to get rid of that stuff. Why not rich text? What do you mean with, well, why not rich text? It's not HTML or anything, or what do you mean? Why we use here normal text and not rich text? As far as I know, rich text offers more possibilities, right? Like soft wrap, overflow, and that stuff. Let's read quickly. That a rich text widget displays text that uses multiple different styles. The text to display is described using a tree of text span objects, each of which has an associated style that is used. Okay, so what we can do is with rich text, we can, for example, make that 15 larger than the front stuff and so on and so forth. But we actually don't really need that, so I would just keep it with text here in that case. Instead of column text, rich text is what else does. But would it make it not more complicated at the end? I mean, with a column, I know exactly where we are. We have the stuff there done. If I now start with one rich text and would have to recreate 2 rows of it or something, Do you think it would be way easier? I think we still would even need a column at the end. But I mean, it works now, so I don't see the necessity to change it. So hopefully we can live with that for now. Let's see. Okay, don't make that too big. So at the moment we can just scroll that area here. Cannot scroll anything of that. I think we have a lot of space in between of these stuff here. So maybe make this a 75 or something. Okay, fantastic. If you are happy, I am happy. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12. 36 minus, yeah, that looks correct at the end because he don't uses that one. Okay, so next step. I think with that we already improved some of the stuff, so let's push that. Added a toolbar and result bar in order to show more information. Up and push. Back to our to-do. What do we have here? It's a good time to drink something. So I would say we have done the first to-do here. So we can give that an X, right? Because we now display the time of steps, or better the steps that we took. Are you interested in seeing the time, how long it would take to solve that whole maze at the end? So we could maybe give that timing in a little bracket in the behind. Where are we? We have this. Can we create a timer for that is the question. Should be fairly simple, right? Time matters a lot. All right. So let's see how we can do that. But on the other side, okay. So let's see, we can create that stuff somewhere. So if we select and click on the button, that happens here, right? So what I would like to do is create here a new date time. So this is time 1. Time 1 is date time now. Or is there something like a timer? Don't know, actually. Duration, no, a stopwatch maybe? Stopwatch. Creates a stopwatch in stopped state with a 0 elapsed count. The following example shows how to start a stopwatch immediately after allocation. New stopwatch start. Okay, I got or thought about that. So if we start that, we have now started a stopwatch. And because I don't want to do that all the time again and again and again, I will do that again in our provider. So then we have also the times there directly and can calculate correctly. So if we go to the home screen, we want to have kind of a void start timer. And then we have probably... No, if we start a timer, we would also recreate the stopwatch. So stopwatch dot start. And this stopwatch needs to be saved somewhere. So stopwatch, make that private. Stopwatch.getTime or something. Elapsed is the duration that we receive. Oh, fantastic. Ooh, that's fantastic. And I think we can directly return that. So return. This is not void, this is the duration. We start this one, or we elapsed. I'm not sure if we would have this stopwatch. Well, we would have the stopwatch here. We don't need that actually, but what I would like to have is the elapsed time, or so duration elapsed time. But this is actually interesting, and then we don't have to return that because our UI want to react on that. So we would have something like this, and this would be void, of course, while this here gets a getter again. Elapsed time. That is here, duration. And with that, we are done. All right, so now we can start a timer, we can stop the timer, and I will just do that inside of here probably. We have here anyway access to the provider, so we can say something like provider.start timer. And down here, whenever we are finished with everything of that method, while true, exactly would be here. So here we say provider.stop timer, and we don't come here at any point of time. So maybe we do it inside of here. Maybe the easier solution is to just use it where we execute the start. So here we get the implementation. So context.read of the home view provider. We can now execute the start timer. And because we read now a lot of this here, we can create a variable out of it. This is the home view provider. Fantastic. And here we start our timer, and whenever we have the solution, we will stop our timer. Good. And here in this case, we can also add in the result bar our new text. I just add here where we just say elapsed or used time, elapsed time, elapsed, or duration for search, search duration. Search duration. So let's see if I find that. So we have here context.read, right? No, watch, because it can change, right? And then home view provider again. A lot of emails at the moment, sorry for that. So, and here we want to get the date elapsed time. ToString. Yeah, ToString. So it's null, of course, because we haven't run yet at time, and this elapsed time is no duration object at the moment. So we would have to say something like duration of, yeah, I think that's it. Hot reload. Not beautiful, but okay. I think with the Intel package we can also make that a bit more clean. But anyway, what we can do is now giving this and this, creating a wall and run. And the problem here is now just that we can read what this says, or at least I cannot. So that means this is hours, minutes, seconds. This is milliseconds, I guess. So we are coming to the thousands still of a second. So it's quite fast at the end. So what's the unit exactly? So where is our duration object? Want to read that. So hours per day is the first one. Then we have minutes per hour. Then we have seconds per minute. That makes sense. Then we have milliseconds per second. And then microseconds per anything. So can we... the question is if we only improve that with milliseconds. Show duration in milliseconds. Oh, that looks like the wrong programming language. Yeah, that's C#. Let's search for Dart. Duration in hours and in milliseconds, I guess. Okay, so what we can do is going to our result bar and say here in milliseconds. So does it mean now we used 5 milliseconds for that? Okay, we can live with that, I guess. It's a good example. And what we can do is also adding here some, nope, not enough. 5,370 microseconds. Better? Nano? No, I think micro is good. I think we cannot be smaller, so I stick with microseconds. I think that is the best I can do without having too many work here. So let's add here something, maybe to make it a bit complicated. Maze, maybe. Oops. Nope, nope, nope. And go. Wow, that's so fast. It's freaking awesome. Okay, cool. So all of that, I can see now again 2 of these guys. So let's create an. Sometimes I have the problem with the new version of Android Studio that I cannot refactor anymore correctly, which I really don't like. So if you have a good solution for that, please let me know. So, yep. So our home view provider equals the context. It needs to be in the build method, of course. So, and this guy replaces this here, and down here. Good. So. Okay, and here we can add also in microseconds. Don't do any different. Okay, but now we can have this part. The only thing is that we have to decide is in the future if we have that every second we want to make a stop, just that the user can write everything. MS would be absolutely fine. You are absolutely correct. So MS. Perfect. And yeah. Should we add this time with milliseconds behind of the steps that we took so that we can have the timing there? But I think that's good. And I think what we can do is, whoops, the first text here, bring it to the top so that it is clear, okay, we used this algorithm, it took that many steps, and so on and so forth. So then we have maybe here also a little bit of spacing. Sized box of height, don't know, 8. So good. Try BFS now. Of course, let's do it. So we have a starting point, we have an end point, we create some path blockers, and select the breadth first search and go. Okay. It needed to search every step, but it was faster. That is kind of funky, or? So wait, let's create the same maze for both of them. So let's create breadth first search. We need 1 second. And what happens if I create the same thing, yeah, without anything for DFS? No, it's even fast. Jeez, that stuff is so fast. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? So then let's go. We implemented a timing. So make time usage visible to the users. Okay, next step. Let's see our to-do list. I think now we have that with the time and steps. I think with that we are pretty happy, I guess. So I'm convinced that we can make there a cross in front of it. So now the next step that I really don't like, that we really should do, and this is if I have a start point and an end point and I click on the reset button, don't push, why not? Sorry, too late. What did I miss? Is there anything I missed? Good. Anyway, so whenever I have once run my maze, I lose always the complete maze, right? After resetting the values, we can make a push. Yeah, I mean, we can push it also in between, right? Push more often and faster, so that's no problem. But you're right, we should have a reset button, or better, a reset function inside of our provider. Here we have the reset all anyway, so why don't we really reset everything, right? So let's see, we have the search algo, selected search algorithm, which is now, what is the beginning? I think it is DFS at the beginning. So the question is, should we change that? No, I think we would keep that. The second thing is steps taken to find the path, 26. So that will be the steps. Result steps is 0 again, and the duration elapsed time is also a new duration object. Good. So hot restart. We are empty. I quickly do that. Get some walls in between. Up. Good, I reset and we are empty again. One thing that I see right now, and I don't know if this is good, is this automatically updates if I do that something here on the bottom. I think it's not bad, but yeah, just to keep, it could be bad because if we, for example, run this search and I click on search and now I change these, then this is also changing. I think that is not exactly what we want. Okay, so with that, what we have to do is this selected search algorithm, it keeps track of down here of that drop down. So this is not only the selected, this is the drop down value or drop down search algo. That's also a good idea. I think that is even better. No. Because if we reset everything, you remember that we clear our board. So that would mean whenever I change here something, we would always clear the board. I think that is not a good option. On the other hand, if we have later, you know what? I think we leave it for now like that. And as you say, sorry, it's getting very warm here inside. So, and as you say that reset all, we can do that then later when we have saved the start and end location and regenerate that for the users. I think that makes sense. Yeah, so what I will do is firstly improve that or bring that up. So reset of values. So But then I would really go into the improvement that we keep track of the start and end, to keep that on the line, that we don't lose the information where this comes from. So whenever we click on reset, it should be gone. That's correct, I would say. But whenever we search, I would like to keep the track of the start and end location, rather to override that. And that would keep some problems with it, because at the moment the only state that we really save for something is if it is a wall, if it is something else, and so on and so forth. So we need maybe something more sophisticated. I guess that we need a class or something for it, because a path could also be a start point, and an end point can also be a path, right? So there is a difference between this state and the state that we need. So if we take a look at the home view, maybe then it's getting clearer. What I mean is, for example, let's drink something. So what we have is the cell state, and this cell state contains at the moment all information about our cell. So it could be a wall, a path, start, end, visit, solution, done. But what happens is that he finds his search, and after that the color is not changing anymore, because we rely on, to color these cells, we rely on the cell state that we get. And if it has searched once across it, then we see that the color is getting yellow because it is visited. And after that, it is getting part of the solution, which makes it blue. And I have to quickly open the window. Sorry, it's so hot. So if you see that, this are 23 degrees at the end. So. Yes, Minu, I could do all of that, but it wouldn't change the problem that we have all the time, right? So, for example, I want to make one field later more expensive to go to than another one, that I create swarms or I don't know whatsoever. Then I would have to recreate everything. I think the best option is to give the cell states more information than just having a start, endpoint, and so on, or keep track of it, right? Because if you remember, inside of the home view provider, we already keep the information about the start and the end, I guess, or? No, we don't. No. No, in the search controller impl, we have control of that. So we actually still know where the walls have been, where the paths have been, where the start and end date has been. So maybe the idea is, if I click, so my idea is that if I click here on start search, we get the possibility to make a reset button down here. Then this is swapping between the two. And if I click on this reset button, we get back our information where we have start and end. While this reset up here is like a clear all, completely clear of everything. And then I think we don't even need to change the behavior like it is at the moment. Well, let's see. How would I start? First of all, we have to change the toolbar that we have up here now. Not only up, that this gets a tooltip like clear all, everything. So with that, we know, okay, this here is a destruct all, right? So maybe you can even make it red here. Like 0xff, so we have RGB, right? So the first two are red, which will be FF, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Now we have it in red. Could we have that not on the icon, but on the... Yeah, it's also possible. Nope. Ah, this is also changing just that? Okay. Let the start and end points be colored green and red itself. and red itself. Okay, it's also a possibility, yes. So my browser has crashed again, unfortunate. So. Okay, so where are we? The cells. Okay, so you say that we don't, whenever the start and end would never be visited, right? So that would be something inside of our search implementation, because here we color them and we update that here. This is update cell state solution. So we would have to say something like the first and the last cell or node should be not this, should be colored as we say it. So like provider.update cell, where we say that the cells.first gets, for example, the cell state.start. No, it's not reversed yet, so it's end. And then we would have the same thing where the last cell gets the start location. It's just a test. I don't know if this will work, but let's see. So we have the start and the end. Okay, it's vice versa somehow. Let the start location and the end location. Okay, close enough. So the last... it seems that the start location is not even considered. So no. And what we would need is that the first start node, where does this get one updated cell visited? Okay, we would not do that actually. We would not visit the first one. So we have a start, we have the end, go. Aha! Like that. And now we can also change here to breadth first search. Okay, so something solved. Next step would be to remove the solution, right? So whenever we change something in the Dropbox, ta-da! Yeah, you're right. You get that point. So whenever we change something in the Dropbox, we want to remove all the solutions, right? I think that's fairly simple. So let's get into it. So we are here. We have the Dropbox somewhere. Wait. Okay. Okay. I like to wait, then I can drink. This one? No. Wait, then I have to restart. So what I can explain you is the following. Yeah, but you don't have to forget that I clicked first on breadth first search. I searched, and after that I selected deep first search and searched again. So they are overlapped. So don't you worry, the path is still working correctly. So the BFS is running straight, but the other one on top. So that's why I say when we trigger now the drop down, whenever we select here something else like breadth first search, it should clean up the solution now. So as you said, that we just refresh everything. So on this unchanged more or less, we have the update search algo, and here we also reset most of the things. So we don't reset all, but what we reset is the result steps and the elapsed time. So whenever I select now something down here, oh no. Okay, that worked up here. And one more thing that we have to do is we have to go through all the cells, cells.where, and what we want to find is where the element is equal to cell state dot solution, and we make it actually to a path. No. Map each element here. Just a second. So when I make where, we received an iterable where type replace range. No. So but what element is equal to cell state dot solution, and then we map that to we receive an element and return cell state dot path. So let's see if this works. So I select something else. Let's see, hot reload. Okay, I take the first click, second, search for it. No, that didn't work. Is this mutable or immutable? It's the question. I think they are immutable, or returns a new lazy with all elements. Yeah, this is new. Okay, cool. So in order to do that, we have to loop for each of them, I guess. Okay, so for var, I don't know, element in cells, up, cell in cells, cell equals, no, if cell equals to cell state dot solution, cell equals cell state dot path. All right, Deepak, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed it today. So, bum bum bum, and notify listeners. Okay, so try it and depth first search. It seems not to work, and I don't know why. Hallelujah. So create this. I select breadth first search. This list contains all the cells. We update that the cells are now again paths. So for each cell in cells where this is a solution, do we run into this? So at any point. So if I select this and go here, yeah, we receive a lot, and we have also a lot of solutions. So I thought we would come into this here. Solution, 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 okay. Still not mutable. Okay, so we don't change it correctly. All right, so what we want to do is taking cells and using cell.index to find the position, and then we override it. So he removes it from one location, but not from all of them. So we get a lot of cell state solutions. The index is wrong. The cells dot index of cell, and then this comes here. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we switch and we're done. And we switch and we're done. Fantastic. Thank you, Minnow, for that fantastic solution. I think that solves already a lot of our issues, right? So most of the stuff is still working and we can do that. So the last thing that we need is actually that checkbox that I would like, or better, what we can do is something missing yet. So if I change down here, okay, the only problem is that this search algorithm is automatically shown, but I think we can live with that actually. It's not too bad. But what I would like to do is now to add this checkbox so that a user can decide if you want to have that slow mode at the end. So what we can do is update the values here. So reset of the change of search algorithm changes. Ah, wait, but we don't have visited at all anymore, right? Wait. So we clean that off. I create a maze. We only get the solution, but we don't get visited elements anymore. That's not completely correct here. So where is the problem? So if we have frontier remove, that was the reason I took that with that. So at which point of time do we update that someone is visited? I think we do that down here, right? So here we can say that at the moment the node where we are can be updated. And what happens if we, so we can do the following. We add here the frontier, and as soon as it's getting added, so actually this part tells us if a node or a cell has been visited. And now what we would have to do is we would ignore the first one. So what we could do is taking this number up here. So saying if explored nodes, what is the name? Explored tiles equals to 0. Better unequal to 0. Then we say provider.update cell with the current index. So this is node.state with the cell state.visited. And the method here will have not only to find the solution, but it will also need to find the visited. And do the same thing here. And if we see something like that, we can of course combine them. Okay, start again. So we have our start and our ending. Create that block of a search and start search. Yeah, way better. Okay, and if we change now, it works still. Perfect. Okay, so that's still done. Okay. No, keep it like that. I think it's more better. Okay, and maybe give here some documentation. This is just showing the visited tiles, ignoring the first. Okay, this is our search algorithm, our find algorithm better, and we have that solution search. Okay. Good, so start point, end point, we can create our walls in between. now it didn't work anymore. Or do you think it found the best way in the first part? Not too bad. Okay, so DFS was very fast here in that case. So now we want to make it visible. We can update this. So what did we did actually? So we improved the handling of start and end point. And with that, the next to do should be done. So to make it possible to reset correctly, yeah, I think that we can do now. And for user, this is way better to understand what happens on the screen. All right, so we can clear everything. That still works the same, right? Checkbox, yeah, so now we're coming to our checkbox. And this will be if we want to have the delays between the steps. So that means if we make one step, we want to wait 1 second, just that the user has to change to identify where the search algorithm goes to as next. So what we want to have is like a checkbox. I think we can add that to this part here. So if delayed, then we want to say await future dot delayed for duration 1 second. Duration seconds 1. Or maybe make it milliseconds and then 500. I think that's a fair amount. And this delayed parameter comes in from the from the top, right? So this guy knows that. So we need to search for this guy. Bool delayed. So. And now we have this and this. This is complaining now. And we say false for now. And also here false. So. That looks weird. Also here. And would be beneficial to make that as a named parameter. Yeah, named parameter. Yep. So also here where we have this part, I think we have to go here. Because with that we can read what we want to have here, and it should be better for the users to understand what we want to achieve here. So we have these two as named parameters, while the first one is deep first search. Search delayed. Like so. Okay. And now where do we get the information for delayed? So for that we need to optimize our UI once more. So after our drop down on that side, I think that would be the perfect option to create a checkbox quickly with the value that we get from the provider, home provider dot delayed. We'll do that in a second. And here, if we press that, the change event is that we use the home view provider again, and we say update delayed, or toggle delayed. So we create the field, which is just a Boolean flag here. It's of course up, not that easy accessible. That was the wrong part, so bring it in here, delayed. And this is a Boolean that we return. And at the beginning, this is always false. And here we have our toggle delayed, and the question is if we need this on changed, but we can take that, I guess, giving the value inside. And create the method, perfect, get the value. And what we want to do is using the delayed value, giving that to value, and notify our listeners. Good, bringing all that up to our rest of the methods so that the getters and setters keeps together. And we have already our checkbox. Doesn't look that fancy yet, but what we can do is taking this checkbox and bringing it below of this Dropbox, kind of this. And we need, of course, a title or text or something. So is there something? Active color, check color, focus node. Ah. So we need to create the text our own? No, I cannot imagine. So is there not a checkbox or something? Eh? Text box with no, checkbox with text. I quickly close the window again. So in Flutter, let's see, how do you add a label? Checkbox title. Checkbox list since it is clicked anywhere on the row on changed callback. Oh, okay, I can just use the checkbox list tile. Okay, checkbox list tile with the title and give that a text widget, which is delay the search, delay or just delayed. Has sized render box out of boundary. Okay, so probably I have to wrap this in a sized box where the width is defined to, I don't know, 200 maybe. That leads to a crash. Okay, that's okay. And it would be good if this one gets a main axis alignment to space between. Yeah. Don't even need the space, I guess. And we can make that to 150. Or can we give this, I don't know. It would be good to give that a min or something. Ah, or surrounded in a flexible. I think that should also work. Flexible. Huh. Nah, don't look good, I guess. So I think the sized box with a specific width was the best option here. So width of, I guess, 100 would be enough. Good. So, nope. Ah, of course it didn't work because we have not yet used this value. So down here we have the values of false, and what we want to have here is we need to know from the home view provider, nope, from This is with what read? Do we have also one with watch down here? No, not yet. Okay, so probably I have to recreate that. Let's see, home view. No, context.watch on the home view provider. And we receive here the value of delayed. And this one comes as delayed equals. We want to use it here and here. Was it red? Delayed, try correcting the name to one that isn't defined. Ah, sure, bool. Okay. So with that, we execute that stuff and that should do the trick actually. Crash, okay. Try to use context watch outside of a build method and update callback of the provider. Yeah, that's true. How can I do that? What we could do is use it here. We get our watch. Why do we... No, wait, huh? So that means I could use final, for example, delayed, and say home view provider dot delayed, and get this value down to the bottom where we actually executed, and then we get that. Okay. Okay, if you are happy now, that's good. So click here, we click on delayed and go. Perfect. Oh. Huh, why is it not cleaning up correctly? Or why is it behaving that weird? Some of the paths getting emptied and some are not. So after we find the solution, we clean up somehow. Our search start, we have the stack overview, we have showing the visited tiles, visited, and then we come with the solution. So the solution path is correct, right? That's the shortest path that we can find at the moment. But why does it remove also the tiles in between that has searched through? Ah, no, it didn't. It's just looking different. It's my, okay. Breadth first search. Good. Good. All right, that looks already pretty valuable, right? That works everything. So now, what would be the next step that we could take? Let's see that works already with that. So improved UI to see a delayed coloring. So the next step, and I think that will be the most challenging project because it will remove a lot of information. And as you can see, we get now a high amount of milliseconds here, of course, because if we delay it, it will increase the search, of course. And what we also need maybe in the future is some kind of help, right? What is yellow? What is blue? Maybe to explain what happens here. So in order to do that, what I will do is just adding that. Do we actually need a top bar here? Not sure with that, but what we can do in the meantime while we have it is inside of our app bar, we could create actions like an icon button. And this one could get the onPressed method. where we open up an alert dialog. Up. Was it like that? No. Icon, yeah, sure, that makes sense. So icons dot help. No, click on the button. Nope, that was not it. Show alert. No. Flutter alert box or dialog. Show dialog is the method that we need, and then we have the stuff inside, and this returns an alert dialog that we need. Okay, so inside of here we have show dialog with the context, of course, and inside of here we have a builder, and we have an alert dialog. Is that correct? So we have our builder, barrier dismissible, user must tap button. No, we can tap anywhere, I guess. So if we take a look, we click on that and we can click everywhere. Good, so this alert dialog has now a title, which is a text widget with help. And what does it has too? It has content. Is it any content? Then we have a container here inside, which then gives us some possibilities like a child. And this container would have a column with 2 rows. Yeah. Now a column with a row and with another row. And the first row should show the children. The second one gets also some children. Where's the problem here? Too many positional but found 2. List children. Ah, yeah, sure. This is of course up to take out the rows again, because here is a children. And now we have it. And inside of the rows, I want to show the different colors, right? So for example, I don't know, container maybe with a height of 50 and a width of 50, the color of green, and yeah, that's actually it. No, looks stupid. Okay, so if I click now here, we can see this, and now on this side, no, we don't actually need that second row, I guess. Not even sure if we need that column anymore. We need a column and then different rows. Yeah, okay. So the first is that, and then we want to have a text where it explains what it is. In our case, this is the start point. Ooh, ice cream. We have winter at the moment. Why do you need ice cream? Is it that hot in India? So, and what we want to do is main axis alignment, main axis alignment dot space evenly, space around. I have the bad feeling that this is not recreated. Ah, yeah. Space between. Nope, 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 nope. Nice. Okay, so enjoy your ice cream. Okay, something like that. Okay, so then we have this. This is one row, and now we could create a lot of them, but let's be honest, who would do that? So we create one widget for that quickly. That is our help color row start. This widget help color card or row. We import our material Final color comes into play here. Yep, we create in a second thing, and the second thing is the string text, help text. So, and this is that part, help text. So now you see already that this stuff is red, so we have to create a constructor for it. And last but not least, we use this help row where it is necessary. So actually here. So do we import the whole thing, and now we can use the constructors here. Like color is colors.green, and the text is start point. So now that's more like it. We make a comma at the end, and now I can replace a lot of them. So we have the red, this is the end point. We have yellow, which is at the moment our visited tile. Then we have blue solution or path solution. And we have yellow, blue, green, red. Is there anything missing? Ah, yeah, white or black is wall. Cross, kind of this. And last but not least, we will have white, which is, and here we should add a border, I guess. Ah, so we could just skip that one, I guess. So we have our column, and now still not completely happy with it. So that's space evenly, space. Should we even do that? So at the moment it's just ticked together. So what I could do is a sized box with a width of 15 or 16. So, and we see the change if I click here. Fantastic. All right, the only thing that is missing now is that the column should have a little bit of space between all of them. So how do we add that? Inside of the home view where we created all of them. Main X alignment. Space evenly. That's a bit too large. Space between. Nah, don't do that. So I think we will just add a lot of sized boxes between them. Height of 15. So, and now I could add them to between all of them, but if I go inside of here and say just that we want to have a sized box at the end. No, not like that, but no, we cannot. Yeah, I have to do it in between a wall. That's unlucky. Okay, let's add that here, bring that in here, here, and that should do the trick. Recreate the widget and looks great. Okay, so we are now at the point that we can get the help, we can see everything here, and that's fantastic. So additionally into the help, I would like to add some kind of information, what actually happens here. So we have a column at the moment. And I think the first part of the column should be a large text where we can enter stuff. So here is like, could be even, no, just text, yeah. Text. Yeah, this should help you to understand the search algorithms of the CS50 course of Harvard at edX. So how can I add a link? That's also a good idea, because if I start that now, we can see if I click here, get that information, should have also the size box here. Good. And then like adding a link. Ah, but this will be with the URL launcher and everything. Do we need that? I guess no, not at the moment. At X, this course is for free. Introduction to AI in Python. Oops. So, what steps could we do next? Quickly check the Discord channel if there happens something. I should really remove that at everyone. So, okay, we have the possibility of a start point, of an end point. We can create walls now in between. We can make it delayed to see how it works. Cool. And we can see where it takes the time and how long it runs. So what we could add maybe in the result bar, if the time has run very long, that we explain, at least if it is delayed or something, why why it takes so much time. But I think it's not too important. I guess the people can understand what happens here. Welcome back, Minu. So, I see right now that we have also to clear it when I click delayed again, I guess. So, I have to admit, it's like playing or preparing a video game here. Oh, really? It needed to search all fields. Unlucky. Okay. Beautiful. Then we have that too. We have that color. We have that help window, which explains a lot. Maybe we can also add a link somewhere. That would be, I think we should do that. If we have now this helper, we should maybe also create a widget for, let's say a link list for that, so that everyone can find what we want to do here. We have here this alert box, and I think it is a lot of widget inside of here. So what I would like to do is extract that here. So let's see if I can do it a fast way again. Refactor, extract Flutter widget. Oh yeah, that works fantastic. So this is our help widget, or help dialog. Great. Where are you? Down here. Fantastic. Get all of it. Creating a new file. Help dialog widget. Up. I think that widget at the end was a bit too much. Up. Better. And now let's import our stuff again. We take material. And down here we import that. And we have to import the help dialog again. Good. Make a live counter in steps taken. Oh, you mean that we update this one too? Oh yeah, that's a surprise, perfect idea. Shouldn't be too hard actually. It should be very easy to do. Let me see how we could achieve that. So we have the explore tiles, we have all that. Where do we update at the moment the number of values that we have? So steps taken to path, where do we update that? If I'll take a look here, update search algo, I'll update result steps. Yeah, update result steps actually. Okay, at the moment we update them only at the end. So what we could do is going inside of the search. And yep, inside of the search. And whenever we do a step, what do we return at the end to receive that? So we receive the tuple and I think the explore tiles. So whenever we update this, we just increase that. This is just a provider. And that should work already. So if I delay that and we go to the broth. Could we even update the timer that we see how long we took? That we have a track of the duration that we have? I mean, why not, right? If we do the one thing, we should also do the other thing. So notify listener active tool, but I don't know if this is that easy possible. Oh, 1 second, I get called. I have to go, be right back. So, sorry for that. Good, you wrote a lot of stuff. So if you use delay, then write time taken with delay and also write without delay. Write time taken with delay and also written. I mean, that could be possible, but I would have... The question is, I delay by 500 milliseconds whenever we are on a tile. So what I would have to do to show the time without delay, I would have to calculate that, right? So I make just at the end, I could do something like, okay, wrong keyboard, here we are. So I could do something like the explore tiles time, the time that we calculate. So 500 milliseconds is per step, right? So kind of this would be the milliseconds at the end. We have the result steps actually. And what we could do is we show currently the elapsed time, right? Somewhere here. And the elapsed time, we could do something like this is the, we have the elapsed time, yeah, but then we would remove that. Let me think a second. So we have to check if delayed. We just update that here. So if delayed is active, right? Then we would have to say that this that the we can stop this one, and after that we say elapsed time minus the steps taken, right? Result steps times 500. Compared, I think we can also calculate here, right? No. Okay, so we say we used microseconds, I guess. And the problem is this is milliseconds, and I guess microseconds is 5,000 of them. But what we can do is say in milliseconds, then we remove this calculation here. And at the end, we have a new duration with milliseconds of this. And then we say that this is the new elapsed time. Sounds about right, or? So, but we don't want to override the same elapsed time, in my opinion. What we would like to do is having the clean time, maybe something like that. And this will be only here for the clean time. And then we would make that in brackets behind of it, I think. So whenever we are in the result bar, we can then show in brackets behind of it the correct timing. So we have the elapsed time here. We don't. I don't have to create that. Oh no, I have to. Yeah, that's fine. So what we would have to do inside of our result bar is going here, and we would have the there would be like an if statement, right? If this is delayed, then So what I could do is taking all of that, creating the up here, and say something like this is a string that we want to have. So if home view provider dot delayed, then we want to get this. On the other hand, I can just create a method for that. What I'm doing. So get rid of that. Bring that down there again. Create here a method. Get elapsed time. Good. Create all of that. So, and then we say if, and we need access to the provider, home view provider. So this could be a variable. How do I create here? No, this. So this is our search duration. And what I could do is say we have then the search duration, which is a string. No. Duration result string. And if we are delayed, by the way, this is the opposite direction, right? So we would up like so, and this one would be why is that red? Yep. Yeah. and with a slash, and here we say cleaned, or just make it in brackets and have then here inside the milliseconds. So home view provider dot cleaned time. I didn't create a getter for that. So and then in our result we would have this guy with the cleaned time and milliseconds. So if it is delayed, if not, okay. So what would happen if I'm searching now? Cool. So well, we have to still trigger some process that if it is running, then we are not allowed to change anything anymore. So we have to disable the stuff, delete or override it. Okay, we found our solution. So if I use deep first search and I click delayed, then we see that now. So if I click here and I click, I don't know, here and let it run with delay, take our steps one by one. So this is of course wrong. So our calculation is wrong because it's negative and that doesn't sound right. Did I do here a second? In milliseconds, 412. And by the way, these are microseconds, right? So what we should do if that ms is milliseconds, so microseconds abbreviation mus, yeah. So that's a huge difference, right? So why did we calculate wrong? So somewhere here in the cleaned time. So we have the elapsed times in milliseconds and we reduce it by the result steps time 500. So we have 25, 500, 12,500. So the elapsed time is what? Let us make a breakpoint here, I think. Then we can easiest see what happens. I close it off, create it new. Waiting a little bit the debugger. Hey, 5 new people, welcome. What happens here? Stale file, allowed root paths. Okay, never seen that before. Is located outside of the allowed root paths. What? Okay, so let's go to the terminal, Flutter doctor. Let's see what's going on. Okay, that looks quite good. Launching in debug mode, stale file, May Search AI macOS ephemeral. Okay, someone a good idea what happens here. Why is that a problem? So flutter create dot. Is there something broken? Oh, integration test we don't really need. So we get a lot of errors, but at the end it's creating correctly. Weird, but okay. Start search, fantastic. We can work, also fantastic. Delayed. Ah, yeah, shouldn't be possible. Hot restart. So now let's try to attach a debugger. Maybe this works. It's Java only, that doesn't help. Okay, kill it again, start up again. Looks way better. Thank you. So creating that and that, we delay the whole thing and let's see how long it takes to come to our delayed point. So we are here. So the elapsed time in milliseconds, what do we get? With this, do we have here access? Yeah, fantastic. Then let's make this one bigger. So this is the elapsed time in milliseconds. Okay. Hey Robert, nice to see you. How are you? Long time no see. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas vacation. Yep. So this is 9,500. That looks about right. What is this guy here? Boop. Oops, that was... I wanted to get this and execute it. It's 9,000. Do we have maybe one step too much? Could that be the reason? So here it says us we have 19 steps, but actually we only had 18 steps. Huh. Could it be that we have one step too much? Oh wow, that is amazing. Oculus Rift, so you are now one of the VR gamers. So cool. So what we can do is making these result step -1 and then times. Maybe this works. Let's take the breadth first search just because it's faster. And let's see where we come to. If this now makes a bit more sense. Oh, that's good. Let's run it through. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you think it's even too much because of the start and end point? Yeah, that could be. But on the other hand, we have also for each of them. Let's see. So we have that clean time. That's okay. Where are we? Here. So we have that stuff in place, right? So we calculate. Uh-oh. Wait, this could be that this gives a problem. So this has to be calculated first, right? But even then, it looks still a bit fuzzy. So let's try it again. How I built this? This is, we did that now in the last couple of live streams where we explored the search mechanisms of breadth, first search, and so on and so forth. And now I created like a tool that surrounds it, and we can create a maze for it. And at the end, when we have a maze, we can then start to run the search, and it shows you how the search pattern behaves. So for example, the breadth first search goes from your starting location to the surrounding fields, and then goes always with a queue and searches always the first one inside, while the breadth first search is directly, no, the deep first search goes always to the end of the tree. And so we found our solution. So 6,500, that looks about right. And what do we have now here? this 6,500. So 6,5 minus 6,5. Ah, that was wrong. I hate it if this happens, so let's try if I can still calculate. Nah, that doesn't work. Okay, go through and select one different, select it again, go. Okay, here we go, and we have that values. So that looks about right, I guess. 46, that could be correct. So what will happen if I don't execute that? Yeah, we get nearly the same amount. So that makes sense, I guess. Up, 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 up. Oops. Does it? Why does it look so weird? Ah, I have an idea, because we calculate here with the 500 in milliseconds, and at the transfer from a milliseconds to the other thing. It is actually just for learning purposes for myself, and I just use it right now to just learn more about the different searches. And I want to offer that to other people who trying to work on the CS50 course, because that one is for free, and that they understand better how they use these different patterns. So it was time, if you see the edX course here, they have like challenges for you that you have to solve before you can, or before you get your degree at the end. And this is completely for free, so everyone can join the edX for CS50 Introduction into Artificial Intelligence for Python. And they provide these projects. And what I tried is to reconstruct all the different parts so that I really understood all the different terms, the algorithms, and so on and so forth, so that I can reuse that easier. And yeah, it just is to make it visualized, and that some people that I know, some people that want to start with this stuff already have a possibility to add that. And the idea is later to put it maybe on the web or something, to just run it there and everyone can just use it. Maybe on CodeMagic or something, don't know yet. Yeah, so that's the plan at the moment. I'm still not convinced with this. So if we use microseconds here, right, which we have anyway. So microseconds, I think we find here somehow how it is calculated. Microsecond remain, so per millisecond. Okay, so we have 1000 microseconds in 1 millisecond. So that means if we want to do that, we have to increase that by 1000. So let's see if the calculation is now a little bit better. Hot reload. And yeah, switching the search and go for it. And I see right now that we also have to clean that number. So whenever we switch, yeah, of course, that makes no sense, because at the moment we set that in milliseconds, but actually we want to have it in microseconds now. Okay, got it. So hot restart, switching to breadth first search. Divided by 1000? No, I guess that's not correct, or? Because if we would divide it by 1000, these are the, I know that these are the milliseconds, and if I want to make it to microseconds, I think that is correct from my gut feeling. Okay, let's try to remove that. Yeah, it looks quite better. It's still a bit slower in general. That's interesting. So, but it's still too high, or not? So we have that. And if I put now delayed away, Yeah, so something is way slower. Not sure if this is correct at the end. In microseconds, we get the microseconds. We have this elapsed. Oh, thank you so much. I hope that worked correctly. Yeah, a new subscriber. Up, but this was on YouTube. Anyway, so we have that, and unfortunately it doesn't reflect actually the same value. So if we have this elapsed, how do we get that? This comes in microseconds. That is the reason. And this is microseconds, and these are now also microseconds. Still not completely convinced that this is the same. So actually after this delayed, it should have exactly 600 milliseconds or something. Only if we do something in between, but I don't think so, right? Ah, maybe because of that -1. Let's keep that. Let's put that together. Let's try it once more. Oh, sure, with pleasure. But no, that was correct. Okay, bring it back. Just a second, I let that run and then I explain. So what we did is, I don't know if you know the CS50 course from Harvard University. It is completely for free for artificial intelligence. And I started this year and want to make my certificate in there. And in order to achieve that, I need to learn the first, or I am at the moment at the first lecture, where we have the optimal path with the deep depth first search, the breadth first search, the A* search, and the greedy best first search. And in order to make it a bit more visualized and also explain it for myself and everyone else, we have here the possibility to see how these algorithms work. And because I think to learn while explaining the stuff, I decided for myself to create a Flutter application and convert it, because the course is in Python. I converted all the tools and so on into Dart to see if it is working there exactly the same way, and just to see if I can recreate the stuff. So yeah, that's what we are doing. But it's very nice that you are here. Welcome. So, and with that, I have to import all that stuff. I think the help is also there. That works. I'm not really happy with that cleaned number. I think it's just confusing. And the problem is, if it's not really calculated correctly, then it doesn't help anyone. What do you say, Minu? Are you happy if I would remove that? No worries, with pleasure. So we have that, the elapsed time, the duration, and cleaned. And yeah, maybe we do that. We could save also that stuff in between. Don't know. Thank you for your follow. Fantastic. So that's also working. What could we else do? Yeah, as I said, I want to remove this milliseconds down here. I think that makes no sense at the moment. So we would remove this, get rid of this. Don't take that into account. In the result bar, we would also remove that stuff here that we created. Some kind in a hacky way, I want to say. Get rid of the elapsed time here and just put that back into it like it was before. Good. So it's a bit unlucky, but yeah. So created a help dialog and implemented, and yeah, no, that's actually what we did. We have somewhere a to-do. Oh, good point. Yep. No, that cannot be. It needs to be used. This is set here. Stop timer. Here's something missing, I guess. Ah. Why did I remove that? To update the result steps. Ah, because it was at the end. Yeah, we don't need that anymore, so we can remove that. Can remove that. And we can remove that. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that the reason is because we save, or we show now the steps that we do at the beginning of the thing. Perfect. So another thing that I would like to do, and that is very important, is going to the provider once more, and I think I can do that right away with that push later, because whenever we click start search again, what we do is we override nothing. So you see that everything sticks the same and we do it on top of it, more or less. And I don't really like that. We should remove that. Yes, exactly, Mino. Exactly. So I see we think they're alike. That's good. So what we want to do is don't actually update the search algo, but what we want to do is removing or cleaning up that stuff. So we create a new method, reset values, reset result. Good. And we don't only do it here, we also do it when we press on the start button. And we do that where exactly? Inside of the inside of the home view, down at the bottom. Reset paths. Is it only the paths is the question, because we don't only reset the paths, we also take account of the steps and the search, right? Shouldn't forget them. So go to the home view. Where is our button? Blah, 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 drop down menus, elevated button here. Before we start with the search, we clean up. So we can go to the read option here. So we go home view, provider, and we reset the results. And maybe it is not only one result, so you are right, maybe results. So, okay, so if I click once more, yeah. Then we clean up everything. I think that makes sense. And then we find the solution. Cool. Okay. So create help dialog and reset on start search. Oh, I didn't explain that. So I rebased now the two branches, because what I did is I once committed for the most of the files, but I forgot one. And to get this file into my push that I will do now, you can see it's still just one commit at the end. And the rebase just squashed both commits together. That was a bit fast. Sorry for that. Didn't even think about it, to be honest. Okay, so we have that. We result, and oh, what changed now? Okay, so this is now also possible. Good. Now that we have all of this running, and actually I think let's take a look into our to-do list, what we have achieved everything today. So we made it possible to have this checkbox running. We improved the UI to see the end and start. We displayed the time and the steps for today. I think that is quite a good solution for 5 minutes left for today. So thank you very much for joining today. It was a fantastic stream. I'm really looking forward to the next time. And what I can do is maybe switch also over to the intermission. Yeah, and what I want to do next is to make it more dynamic, so that we have the possibility to increase the cell amounts, like as the user. Because if we make that now very large, you see, it's just scaling up the different cells. and I think we can even make that a little bit better. So can you see that? It's very small, I know, but you see the different cells. And what we can do is, or what I would like to do is that the user can set up as many columns as he wants and as many rows as he wants. And yeah, so that is one of the next steps. And the other step that we want to do is to implement GBS and a star search. So GBS stands for Greedy Best First Search. If you don't know what that is, and if you didn't have the time to start already with your CS50, the GBS is the Greedy Best First Search, which uses heuristic to find the optimal path. So that means he would go to the green one and the red one, and he would calculate a so-called, I think, Manhattan number was the name? GFS? Or Greedy Best Search. Why GFS? Greedy Best First Search abbreviation. GBFS. Okay, it's GBFS. So we were both wrong. So let's change that here. And I have to change it also down here, but we will do that the next time. And the Greedy Best First Search calculates it by the Manhattan number, and this is a calculation between the rows that it will take and the columns that it will take. So this gives every column a value. So for example, this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be having the value 10, this small one. I think it's a bit too small, right? So let's make that once more bigger that you can see it better. So this one would get the value of 10 here. So this wall here. And yeah, that would change because that one would be then a 9, that would be an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 till we are there. And the reason for that is why we would calculate that is because if we have a maze like we have with these black walls at the moment, so let me remove some of them. So if we have a maze like this, and then we would come to a cross point, let me create one. Up. So like so, and we would say we cross that. The Greedy Best First Search would always use the closer element. So to make it clear, let's try to make that with the ending. So remember the ending is actually here. So I will replace that with a wall. So it would go here, after that here, and here. And because of the heuristic, it would calculate that this field is more promising with the Manhattan number to come to here, because from here to here is less than from here to here. And with this calculation, we would have the chance to identify that we should go here and from here to here. Of course, it would also not always lead to the absolute best possible solution, but it would give at least a hint where we can go. Good. So what's the last step that we want to do? Remove the tuples and use classes. Yeah, that is just a wish from myself, because if we take a look at the moment, we return as a solution from our search a tuple free. And the problem is wherever I get this back, in the home view, for example, nobody really understands what this result is. We don't even use it anymore. So maybe we can get rid of it completely. But this tuple free at the moment is the list of strings. I think that was which way we go. So up, down, left, and right. So the actions, the list of actions. This is the list of cells that we are going into. And this number here is just the amount of steps that we took. But all of that is now visible here. So I think we don't need it anymore. Okay, so much to the recap. Thank you so much for today, and enjoy the rest of your day. And we hopefully will see us again at Saturday, or maybe on Thursday evening or something. I don't know yet. Okay, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. And thank you, Minnow, once more. It was a great help.